is CGTN, China Global Television Network.
The coast of Western Africa is a ticking time bomb. Along this coast, danger lurks in and around the beautiful blue waters of the Atlantic Ocean.
You cannot stop children from exploring. You can tell them, don't go near the water body, but they will eventually go.
Death by drowning is its name.
When we talk about drowning, it's seldom mentioned. We don't really focus more on it, but it's a silent killer that needs to be addressed.
Looking at drowning, why do people drown? What can we do to help people from drowning, especially children?
The coast of Western Africa has one of the highest concentration of countries along the Atlantic Ocean shoreline. Along this coast, the beautiful beaches of Ghana are always a sight to marvel at. Formerly known as the Gold Coast, the ancient merchants coined that name because of the large gold deposits that are found in the region. Over a century later, the beaches have been transformed into stunning tourist destinations. But danger lurks in and around the beautiful blue waters of the Atlantic Ocean. Death by drowning is its name. However, one man is on a mission to reduce or even stop this threat.
Drowning is preventable. I would rather die than see another child drown.
Felix Uzor is a Nigerian-born aquatic survival instructor currently working in Ghana. A certified lifeguard, aqua aerobics and physical fitness trainer, he ventured into teaching aquatic survival techniques after witnessing a drowning incident firsthand in 2015.
My very downside was when I was relaxing at Labadi Beach one sunny Saturday afternoon, and I had wails of cry. People were a bit worried. The woman was actually crying. So I quickly ran to where the woman was, only to see her really crying that the water actually said a spirit in the water has taken her baby away. But to my surprise, we had lots of people around her, adults who were playing in the water. But really they could not swim. So I couldn't believe that. I just couldn't. I think that is where I said, you know what? Come rain, come shine. I will look into the drowning prevention of the water body. Looking at drowning, why do people drown? What can we do to help people from drowning, especially children? Children love the water bodies, but if their parents or the older ones cannot swim, the children don't know how to swim, so the tendency of them being swept away was high. So we decided to look into that, the rate of drowning in the country, because nobody was looking at that.
So today, like he has done many times before, he is going to a local primary school to teach children how to handle surface and open water bodies.
Good morning, class. Good morning. Good. How are you today? We're going to do something wonderful today. Something very, very interesting. You cannot stop children from exploring. That is their nature. You can tell them, don't go near the water body, but by the time you turn your back, they will eventually go. So we do not stop them from going to the water body, but rather we teach them to know what to do when they are there. So that is the objective of what we are doing here today. A flashcard. Everybody say flashcard. Say.
The school is surrounded by several water bodies, which inform key lessons of his anti-drowning awareness campaign.
When you are around any of the water body.
We started with a program known as Reach for Change. They sent out an advert. They wanted to see how we can change the life of children. So we eventually sent an abstract telling them that we could change the life of children by teaching them how to be safe around water body. They had application of over 8,000 people or applicants. We became victorious. And then they said they are going to sponsor us to change the life of children.
Now you know this. If I come tomorrow again, I am going to ask you. Is that okay? Yes. Please clap for yourself again.
Ghana is a country with a population of about 29 million people. According to the World Health Organization, death by drowning is the third leading cause of unintentional injury death worldwide, accounting for about 7% of all injury-related deaths. As many as 400,000 people die annually from drowning, with about 90% of the cases occurring in developing countries. Under this grim statistic, Africa ranks high up in the chart for the most deaths, with many of the victims being under the age of 13 years. In Ghana alone, up to 4 people die daily through drowning during the peak holiday season across all its beaches. After training the children at the school, Felix heads to a local hotel to conduct a swimming lesson. But while en route, he is already busy making logistical plans for a lifeguarding seminar only 4 days away. This seminar, held once every 2 years, is very important to Felix because it teaches all aspects of aquatic survival skills such as high sea rescues and CPR, amongst others. Comprising of an elite team of lifeguards from the United States and the United Kingdom, it is one of the most advanced lifeguard training seminars in the world. Felix founded the Felix Fitness and Foundation as institutions to help him run his anti-drowning awareness campaign. The Felix Foundation is a non-profit organization championing for aquatic survival skills in schools and in the community, while the Felix Fitness is the profit-making arm of the organization.
After my studies in the UK, I decided to come back to Africa to do what I like doing best in my continent. Obviously, home would be the best place to start. Before we set up Felix Fitness in Ghana, we actually started in Nigeria. I was married to my wife then, Sharon. I think she could not really settle down in Nigeria because she thinks things are too fast for her in Nigeria. A friend of mine, my colleague, invited me to Ghana and see if we can start something in Ghana. So we came to Ghana and set up Felix Fitness in 2010.
Only 3 days before the arrival of the international lifeguard trainers, Felix would like his team to be as ready as possible for the training.
I will introduce the station that we're going to use today. We hit the exercise and then get the benefits out of it. Is that okay? Thank you very much.
Today, he has organized a workout routine for them to gauge their fitness levels.
Keep marching on the spot as we go straight into a free stretch. Keep going, looking good.
We cannot reach everybody, and we cannot teach everybody in Ghana. We wish we could do that. So we try to partner with people that can help us build up capacity. So we had to look at our international partners. Hence, people like International Safe Life-Saving Organization, ISLA. They have been here in 2016. So they are coming again. They will be running 3 to 4 days intensive open water rescue course.
Okay, if you're ready, we are going for a cool down, and we're going to have a cool down for about 10 to 15 minutes.
Due to the intensity of the planning, the Felix Foundation team holds a small status meeting by the poolside, just to assess how the planning is unfolding.
Okay, I think it's provided limited. Okay, so basically, these are the letters to different organizations for the ISLA program coming up. All these letters need to be dispatched to various organizations.
With that out of the way, for the afternoon session, the team will be joined by an additional crew drawn from the emergency forces and locals based in the area. For this session, Felix will be conducting an intensive 3-hour training aimed at preparing them for the main lifeguard certification course.
Go, come on!
To some, this will be more of a refresher course before the main training only days away. The training shifts to more advanced lifeguard drills.
Good. We're not doing any stamina building now. We're going to do the rescue technique. We're going to do a lifeguard jumping or a lifeguard entry. You can only do it at the deep end of the pool, not the shallow end. So for us to be able to do that, we have to swim all the way there. Ready? Next three, get ready.
First, the trainees must learn the stride jump.
Lean forward. Even if you do this and you're like that, you'll still sink. But that will block you. With this, you can go into any stroke, even breaststroke or even butterfly.
This is a water entry technique where a lifeguard leaps into the water with one leg forward, the other leg backwards, and the chest slightly leaned frontward to avoid sinking.
Joshua, when you see a spinal cord injury casualty, you know almost immediately.
Next, they learn how to rotate a spinal injury victim to an upward-facing state, known as the supine position. This technique is used to avoid any bending or twisting of the victim's neck and torso to further aggravate existing injuries. In the end, they learn how to administer CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, to a rescued victim. CPR is usually given to a victim who has no pulse and is not breathing. This technique combines chest compressions and rescue breathing to maintain a heartbeat and inhalation airway for the victim. At 48 years old now, Felix did not know how to swim until he was an adult. An engineer by training, he only learned how to swim because it was one of the requirements to be able to work on site at an oil rig.
I was opportune to do some of my service here with an oil company, Petrolog. They had to send me to the rig, my first time to go to the rig. But before you go to the rig, you must learn to swim. I knew nothing about swimming. I said, if the swimming is going to kill me, I will learn to swim to go to the rig. It was difficult to learn to swim at my age then. I was like about 21 years old, so I learned to swim eventually, and I went to the rig.
His parents had always wanted him to study for a white-collar job, but Felix's mind was always into sports.
I remember growing up in Nigeria, attending my secondary school, primary school to secondary school. I played football for both my primary and secondary school, but my parents wouldn't like me to do that. They want me to be a medical doctor, a lawyer, you know, like things about Africa. But I really know I love sports. So studied electrical electronic engineering from one of the universities in Nigeria until I had the opportunity of going to stay with my brother, a medical doctor in the UK. And I said, okay, I'm free now to kind of, venture to what I want. So rather than pursuing my electrical electronic engineering career, I decided to swim into sports science.
With 2 days remaining before the arrival of the international trainers, the team again meets at the office.
You want to go to...
Yeah, but it's a bit busy. Hello?
Yes, I do understand. So you want us to go to... Because I'm going to Ghana Tourism Authority.
Are you there or you'll be going there?
No, as soon as I finish now, I'll be leaving here to
Then
Ghana
you can
Tourism.
pass here, so you pick me and we go to that place and go to the port.
Everybody has been given their letter, so we will have work out. Don't worry, things will go according to plans.
All right, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
This time, they're holding a crisis meeting to discuss how they are going to rally all participants to come for the training.
Okay, guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again. As you know, we have a very intensive 3 to 4 days Iceland program, and this week has been very hectic. Letters will be dispatched to various organizations as usual. We have no time. The program starts Monday, so they need to take it straight to the chief executive officer or director who the letter is meant for, so that they can action it almost immediately. You have to stress that.
The Felix Fitness and Foundation has 7 employees.
Yeah, I remember I gave you a letter last time inviting you for a program. I gave the letter to your director anyway. You will see that. Thank you very much. The last...
Eunice is one of the project officers, and her main job is to spearhead the community outreach programs.
Good morning to you all. Okay, so who can help me explain the meaning of drowning? When we mention the word drowning, what comes to mind? When we talk about drowning, it's seldom mentioned. We don't really pay or focus more on it, but it's a silent killer that needs to be addressed. And with our foundation, we feel that it's the best way to go by addressing certain things that we are not focusing on, especially when it comes to things that the government has to do.
The Felix Foundation teaches drowning prevention using 10 water safety messages. These messages include knowing water and weather conditions, the depth of water, being aware of water animals, among 7 more water safety awareness strategies.
Good afternoon. Today I'll be taking you through how to be safe around water bodies, okay? Kindly have your seat.
As a project officer, I train teachers on drowning prevention. So my goal of teaching them is to make sure that the drowning prevention program, that is the 10 water safety messages, is taught very well. I make sure that they understand it very well. After which I supervise the teachers to teach the lesson.
Felix Foundation just came here just about 2 years ago. When they started the education, what we realized is our children, they are now more careful when it rains. At least they've been able to let the children know the implications. We have been doing it, but another voice adding it up has worked for us.
Ghana receives an average of about 1,000 to 2,000 millimeters of rainfall in a year. Due to its low plain topography and high rainfall, especially between the months of April and August, Ghana is prone to flooding during the rainy season. Weija is home to an ever-growing community on the outskirts of Ghana's capital, Accra. The Felix Foundation has decided to focus most of its anti-drowning campaign in this area to cater especially for the young school-going children. Situated on a valley basin, the Weija area was not originally destined for human habitation. But due to a population increase, many people settled along the valley slopes and also on the shores of the dam.
So Weija as a community, because of the dam, most often they have the spillage. And then sometimes in a year, they have about 2 or 3 times of that spillage. And whenever they spill the dam, community members are affected. Most often those who are staying close to the dam. And we feel that it's the time that they need us more. If we educate them, then they will know how to prevent drowning, or at least it will be minimized in the community.
Lorenda is a student at one of the local schools in Weija. As a student, she has to cross the river to and from school every morning and evening.
My mother told me that I shouldn't go to the dam when they open the dam. So if they open the dam, I don't want to go there unless they close the dam if I go. If you go to the dam and they have opened the dam can send you away or you die inside the water. I have heard that the dam has killed plenty people. One of the students told their mother that they are going to leave their homeland. Now when they went to swim and they started opening the dam, they did not get out. So one was coming to die and the other one tried to pull the other one out, and the 2 of them, they died. I felt bad and sad.
As a result of the perennial drowning incidents in Weija, the Felix Foundation has extended the outreach program to include the local communities. Community elders such as Uche know too well how the residents have benefited from the training offered by the Felix Foundation.
As very quite recently, we had an NGO, that is Felix Foundation, volunteer to have a training for those who normally cross the children with the boat. We've now had some people who have had a training about crossing this river, and also he has helped, through him, NADMO have supplied the children life jacket, and each boat carries about 6 or 7 children or 7 people. Now those using the boats, they don't frightened when these children are in the boat because they are using life jacket. So whatever happens, they know the children are safe.
In the villages, the foundation has taken the approach of using locally available resources to aid in the anti-drowning efforts.
You tie it to this side, and then with the rope in your hand, you are going to throw the gallon. It means your friend will hold onto the gallon this way. Do you understand?
The community has been taught how to use everyday materials such as plastic gallons or even rubber flip-flops as floaters, and also how to test the water depth with a stick before attempting to cross.
Pulling the rope, do you understand it? Then your friend and the gallon will be coming close to you. So that is how we use the gallon to perform a rescue.
Using the life jacket or fan is very expensive. What about if there's no life jackets? Because they're expensive. So what we did was to get gallons. As you know, gallons floats, or anything that floats. So these are some of the local materials we have, or we have designed to make sure they can use in case of rescuing people who are drowning.
On the eve of the arrival of the international team of lifeguards, there is still a lot of things to be done.
Okay, the program is on the 30th of November. Then you're supposed to come with 1 teacher and 4 students.
Okay, I give the letter to your director anyway. We will see that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
So we provide transportation for you.
Yes, I'm listening.
It is a mind-wrecking moment, and Felix is busy making calls here and there to confirm that everything is going on according to plan. Not even a cup of tea can help to calm his nerves.
Yeah, hi, Russ. You're really right. We're also preparing for Iceland, so a lot of things. But I promise I will send it before the close of day today. Before you scan this thing to the Dropbox, let me know. Don't scan any of this until approval. Okay.
Finally, it is the arrival day for the international team of lifeguards. To receive them, Felix will be accompanied by Emily, the foundation's project manager. Felix is ecstatic as he receives the Isla team. To him, this is a culmination of the many months of preparations. As they head off to settle for the night, Felix's sights will be firmly directed towards the lifeguard training starting tomorrow.
People think you make a whole lot of money when you have this. No, there's only one thing. I remember telling you of seeing a child drown. Drowning is preventable. I would rather die than see another child drown. That is the motivation. We endow with beautiful things like this ocean, the beach, nice water bodies. It's not meant for people to die, especially children. So when I see a child who wants to explore, enjoy himself or herself and come back alive, that is my motivation. And that is why I do what I do.
Thank you.